there is, while you're talking about, newer free trade deals, there's a review which has been going on with the ASEAN agreement, which was a mammoth free trade agreement. What is the status?
Haven't I given enough headlines on that deal? We are certainly very concerned because domestic industry gives us quite a negative feedback about the ASEAN trade deal done during the Congress regime. I have to often very categorically tell industry when they come and attack me on ASEAN, look, I have nothing to do with this. This is a badly negotiated deal by the previous government. I have talked to industry who was there while these negotiations were going on. The level of stakeholder consultation was abysmal. It was terrible. And very, very asymmetrical opening has been done, where India is at the receiving end and did not benefit much. So we are focused in all the trade deals that we do or choose not to do. Like we chose not to do RCEP. RCEP would have been the death knell of Indian industry. I have never received more thank you notes from Indian industry, from MSMEs, from farmer organizations, as I received when we decided not to join RCEP. It was the Congress party's understanding with China or some, I don't know what the secret deal was, what the hell was that MOU that they had signed with the Communist Party of China. I don't know what was the compulsion of that government to get into negotiations in RCEP. We were not a part of RCEP originally. The Congress threw ourselves under the bus. We already had a trade deal with ASEAN, a bad deal at that. We already had a trade deal with Japan and Korea. Australia was on the verge of being finalized, which then they aborted because of RCEP. That time, New Zealand business bilaterally was $350 million. Quite small. So really it was an FTA between China and India. And I dare say, I did nearly 200 consultation meetings about the RCEP agreement with industry. Barely, I think two or three sessions or industry interactions, people said they wanted us to join RCEP. That was the overwhelming opposition. So whether you don't join is equally important as joining is. So we are very clear in our mind what's good for the people of India, what's good for the industry, for all the stakeholders sitting in this room and beyond. That drives us into doing trade deals. Geopolitical considerations or wanting to look good will never drive India's trade decisions. Trade will stand on its own legs. Geopolitics stands on its own legs. We don't hyphenate or conflate the two. Our effort is we build very good relations across the world. We are multilateral in every dimension. But when it comes to opening India's market and expanding India's trade, our stakeholders, their views, and their best interests are paramount.
You just presented the Jan Vishwas version 2 in Parliament. Prime Minister has spoken about next generation reforms. In terms of investment, in terms of the export sector, what reforms could these be?
Tons and tons. In fact, I would urge Economic Times, I would urge all the world leaders in attendance today. We are looking for ideas big and small. every conceivable experience that any of you has had. And I would urge Economic Times to run a campaign on this and crowdsource for us the various possibilities to decriminalize laws wherever they are, there's no mens rea or there's no intention to defraud or criminal intent. We would like to decriminalize as many laws as we can. We want to reduce regulatory burden on industry. We want to simplify processes, procedures, any and everything that can reduce the burden, compliance burden on industry, on business, to make it easier to do business. Whatever we can do to support people, the common man's lives becoming easier, which we call ease of living. We are wanting to explore every possible element which can impact your lives, your businesses. Please come forth, be demanding. Maybe we won't deliver or be able to deliver 100%, but we'll make a sincere effort. We'll argue why not rather than why when you come up with any ideas. So much so that between yesterday evening and today afternoon,
I was going to just ask you, you've had series of meetings, industry
it's a
zones,
continuous
industrial
process.
corridors. So what's on cards there? On industrial corridors, industrial zones, you've had series of meetings
of these
between
will evolve.
yesterday and today.
All of these will evolve and we'll be announcing them. But for example, the Jan Vishwas bill, one and now the two which I have come out with. In both of these, the retrospective application is not there. I had sought legal advice, and at that point of time, I was told that you cannot do it retrospectively. Since last night, I just received an SMS, just an SMS, urging me to consider making it retrospective. I wrote back saying that legal advice had said that we can't do it. The person concerned immediately shot off 2 Supreme Court judgments to me. Then I talked to the Law Commission today afternoon. They also confirm you can make it retrospective. I've already talked to the Law Minister today. The Secretary got changed in the course of the day in the afternoon. So the new Secretary I'll probably talk to. And the idea is that we'll expand Jan Vishwas 2 in the next few days, basis whatever inputs all of you give us. We have decriminalized 355 sections in Jan Vishwas Bill 2. I want to take it up to 1,355.
Oh, wow.
Can you all be forthcoming?
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please. This is being done for you.
So the select committee is going to be seeking suggestions. Either give it there or give it to me. I will give it to the select committee. If required, I'll introduce a completely new bill. We are open. We want all of you to engage and tell us what we can do so that you can focus on your business, be more efficient, be more effective, be cost competitive, produce good qualities, goods and services, and capture world markets.
Is there a package or some kind of interventions, policy interventions, measures expected for the export sector? Because especially, the labor-intensive sectors like textiles, gems and jewelry, they would bear the brunt of what's happening on the tariff front.
We are working on different dimensions. For example, the domestic industry. The same gentleman about whom I referred earlier today morning was saying that they are already started looking at how they can expand their domestic footprint. I remember when I could realize that this could become a stress, I immediately called up a very large 1,000-store retail outlet which does apparel largely, and talked to the managing director and said that guys, can you look at picking up? These are high quality goods that these people make in the textile sector. Can you pick up some more? Can you run massive campaigns and help us market stocks and market products so that domestically we can absorb a lot of the goods on the textile sector? We are looking at GST revamp, about which you have been reading. We'll see how we can support many of these labor-intensive sectors like food processing, textile, through the GST framework to give a boost to domestic demand. Our ministry and different line ministries are already looking at complementarity of our strength areas with other economies so that we can look at expanding trade with other countries, maybe buy some more from them what we need, sell some more what they need. So there are different ways in which we can ameliorate this current situation until we are able to come to a settlement.
Until we are able to come to a settlement. On that note, on that positive note, Mr. Goyal, let me thank you for taking out time for ET World Leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who means business.
Thank you very
Piyush
much.
Goyal. Thank you so much.